You're listening to the September 28th, 2014 Blossom Goodchild channeling with the Federation of Light.
Hello, my friends. I put my trust in you in the knowing that you know best as to what would benefit most regarding that which you choose to speak of today.
Greetings to all. We can only anticipate that the wording we bring forth shall bring one to a higher place. We have greatly expanded our database of light.
Meaning what exactly?
Meaning that there are more and more souls remembering who they are, awakening from their slumbers, and allowing the love that they are, the love from which they are, to be with them in all that they do.
That certainly is good news.
There's more. Due to the overriding fact that so many are coming into their own, it now seems like a possibility for great changes to occur sooner rather than later. For all that takes place is down to those of earth who willingly offer their love to the all. Considering that many are getting it now, it allows us in turn to offer a higher frequency of message. That is simply the way it is. And this is more joyous.
Yes, it sounds it.
Change in the self can only bring about change for the all. As days progress in this higher vibration that is offered, there shall be little time for self-pity and doubt. For the deep knowing within tells the soul self that indeed there's plenty more where that came from. And the growing continues to grow.
A lady wrote in saying she couldn't understand why a soul would choose to come down to earth to be killed, tortured, raped, etc. And she finds it hard to send love to those souls who commit such atrocities, let alone accept that these souls are part of us, being one. How would you assist her, and probably many, with this?
The more one loves the self, as we have said, the more love goes out to everyone. If one finds it difficult where they are placed on their journey to consciously send love to those who are not in line with their way of thinking, then we suggest focusing fully on self-love. In this way, love is still received. Yet alternatively, these lost souls are in great need of love. For it is love, and love alone, that can change their hearts. To send thoughts of great hatred to them will only feed their hatred. Therefore, as with any being that chooses a different path from one's own, whether you like to hear this or not, whether you're able to understand this or not, they have the right to do as they please.
You may need to expand on that statement, I feel.
Each soul who has been given the wondrous gift to come many times to your planet is also given the human right of free choice. This is essential for one's individual soul expansion. How long one chooses to take, how many pathways and twists and turns one chooses to walk down, is entirely the choice of that individual, without judgment from anyone. Certainly not, shall we say, from the highest. Life is infinite, endless opportunities that simply will never stop presenting themselves. All souls have the right to take their own time as they walk their path. It is not for another to lay down the law, even though behaviors may leave another's heart cold. Each soul has the choice to live their opportunities and play them out in any way they choose.
This judgment thing is a hard one, in the sense of sometimes it's an automatic response.
that is only due to the non-understanding of all that is.
So, from where you're positioned within your souls, what do you think about, for instance, public beheadings?
We think that the souls who are choosing to behave this way are doing so because, in their indoctrination, this is what they consider the way through. One only has to look back a few hundred of your earth years, and very much the same took place.
Yet doesn't that show that we haven't progressed much at all?
In some areas. Yet, may we add that the suggestions we have imparted of late align with the knowledge of self, soul, love, the responsibility of each one to be of it.
Yet, if we are all one, how can this behaviour not affect another? For when one is all loving, then you say, that goes out to the all. I'm presuming it's the same if one is not all loving. Surely that negative energy goes out to the all also.
Indeed it does. Yet, with respect, you are missing the point here. It is not for you to be of concern of the choices of another. It is for you to concern yourself with self. Your self. May we perhaps remind you of a darkened room with just one small candle? The darkness is no more.
What about the souls who were killed and tortured? Did they agree to allow this to happen before they came?
They agreed to a contract, to be part of a situation. Although it may be difficult for you to comprehend from where you stand, one is in the knowledge that there is no end. For a soul to sacrifice its life for a better understanding to come to the whole, then they agree to these endings of earth life. This time, in this way, they understand the bigger picture. When in the earth density, much of this agreement does not make sense. Yet, once released from earthly bondage, they are able to feel the difference they have made by doing so. Often we speak of the bigger picture. There are those who have experienced out-of-body, pure love, the love of the divine. When they return to their earthly bodies, they remember only love, and that from that bigger picture, the feeling they experienced allowed them to understand that there is only love, no matter what form it is taking, in order to present opportunities for growth for everyone and everything.
Well, on that note, why is it that some are given that amazing experience to be in the light of all-knowing, to step outside the earthly confinement and be free? Why is it some get this privilege and some don't?
That is a very interesting question.
Can you answer it?
Yes.
Nothing's coming through.
Yet.
All ears. I'm intrigued because these experiences are clearly life, love transforming. Wouldn't it be a good idea for all of us to have this opportunity? Wouldn't that change the world?
It would. Yet not in the way that your world was designed to change. Each soul on earth is part of the divine plan. Each soul has been around forever. Yet there can never be a time when there is not room for growth. Growth of love never can stop. Love, like yourselves, shall continue to expand of itself. For those who have and will experience this oneness feeling that we and they speak of would depend very much on their status, for want of a better description. It's not that the random souls get chosen for this. It is more so that who they are is ready to become more of who they are by this experience.
Yet, aren't we all ready for that?
Not necessarily.
This feels quite tricky to get across for you.
Only in that a very large book would not cover all angles of this query.
So it can't be that one is more deserving than another.
No, it is not like that at all. For there is not one that does not deserve the allness of everything through love. However, how we would put it, where one chooses to be within that allness of everything, is not decided by a creator, designer, or indeed a judge. It is decided by the self. How deserving of these wonders are you? Each one. Ask yourself now.
Well, for me, I'd say that I am, as I'm sure everyone is. Not from any ego, yet in the knowing that we're all equal, and were created to discover love as individual forms. I'm not sure I'm putting this very well, yet I'm now in a place of knowing that we all deserve everything. I know there's more you need to add to put this in perspective.
The more you know yourself in, as, through, love, the more the understanding of the deserving comes. For the description of this word is not quite as we would like it. To deserve something, one of earth puts the connotation upon this word as having earned it. Yet, we do not desire it to come across quite in this fashion. All souls are born with the right to be themselves. It simply is karmic law that the soul brings to itself that which it chooses for the benefit of itself, taking on many different guises of challenges and experiences for one to encounter. As one moves up the ladder, they recognize for themselves that which no longer serves. For all things served in some way once. They make choices to discard that which now should be obsolete in their lives. And in doing so, they consider themselves to be deserving of higher things. There is no God up there that would ever judge and condemn one to a life of darkness for not conforming. Not in our books, anyway. There is no God that decides which one deserves more than another for good behavior. There is only the highest, purest love energy that gives you the gift to decide this all by yourselves, and one's life will unfold accordingly.
I know we're near the end of the hour, and maybe it's too late to bring this up today, yet I wonder what thoughts you have on the word God.
Well put, for the thoughts we have on the word God are very different from our thoughts of truth in, of, light, of, from, through, the highest energy there is. Much emphasis of this word God in its different understandings has battered and bruised the original concept. In your world, everything must be named. In ours, everything must be felt. Therefore, we prefer to use the word love, so as not to make one feel uncomfortable due to that which they consider God to be or not to be.
That is the question. I feel Shakespeare's been around these last few channelings. So, do you have a problem with the word God? personally?
It is a word. We have problems with words. We, however, have no problem with the truth of this word.
Which is, I know, of course, what you're about to say.
Love. Love. Only love.
Yep. It may be a good idea to talk about this in depth next time. That could be very interesting.
For many, hold on to your hats.
Great work, guys. Thank you so very much. I look forward to taking up with you again soon.
Always. We feel the same.
In love and thanks, Bloss.